My name is Laura Bakkensen. I'm in the School of Government and Public Policy. I'm an assistant professor here, and I've been at the University of Arizona for 5 years now. Meaningful work for me means it has an impact, and also hoping that my research has an impact on different communities, so with discussions with policymakers, on other academics to help push forward the state of knowledge that we could be making smarter decisions in surrounding natural disaster risks. My background is in environmental and natural resource economics and policy, and my research focuses a lot on natural disasters. So I'm really interested in understanding how people perceive and understand disaster risks, how they're then motivated to protect themselves from it, and how that can then translate to things, losses we might care a lot about, things like fatalities and property damages, and then how policies can also intervene to help try to make communities more resilient. I have some work looking at warning systems, so the National Weather Service's tornado warnings, how people are motivated to protect themselves when they hear a tornado warning and how that can translate to injuries and fatalities. I have other work looking at the housing market, so how people are perceiving flood risk and how that might motivate them to live in a flood zone or not in a flood zone.
My name is Edella Schlager, and I'm a professor at the University of Arizona in the School of Government and Public Policy. I am the first person in my family to go to college. My dissertation advisor, Eleanor Ostrom, was the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize in Economics, and she received that prize for her study of common pool resources and how people organize themselves to sustainably use them. She brought her research team together, and she pretty much just pointed at each one of us and told us which natural resource we were going to focus on, and I got fisheries. I studied small-scale coastal fisheries, and then once I moved to Arizona, I've turned my focus to water. My research focuses on the governance of natural resources like water and forests and fisheries. They're all really important resources that a lot of people share, and so they have to cooperate and coordinate to use them sustainably and not over-harvest them. My focus has lately really been on water, both rivers and groundwater basins in the American Southwest. Most farmers, especially in semi-arid areas, they need water to irrigate their crops, and without that water, they don't grow food. It's the foundation for our food supply, but it's also important because there are real environmental consequences to this. We need to govern rivers sustainably, not just for the water, but for all of the wildlife and aquatic life that depend on these rivers. And we need to do the same with forests. We need to protect forests and make sure that they're used sustainably to not only provide a source of livelihood for people, but also to help protect our climate and to also provide areas for wildlife.